Hello everyone, we are back with looking at finishing up the project I started in the last video. I had a 4x4x4 cube cut down, and then I painted it with some chalkboard paint, and I'll take the little standoffs here because it's all dry. So that's my bottom. And so I painted the other 5 faces on there. And I made myself a couple of them because I wanted to be able to try a couple of designs. This one I actually painted all sides, so I wanted to see what that was like. And let me set these over here. And the set that I'm going to be looking at today is the Hello Spring set. And I've kind of figured out a couple of different kind of themes that I was looking for. This one kind of was the floral and springs kind of look. I like this one. It's more of like a spring weather. This one's more of an Easter style theme. For today's video, I think I'm going to do the weather, and I have 5 sides, so I'm actually going to steal the little bird one to add on to that. So I will put these to the side here so they're out of my way, and then we're going to get started with using these. With that, I'm just going to choose, I think I would love to have the Scatter Sunshine on top. So I think that's going to be the first one I do. So getting that one pulled off of trying to get that off there. Perfect. So I'm just going to peel that away, and I'm going to take that over here to my towel just to fuzz it a little bit so it doesn't stick too much. And then I'm going to place that right on top and press that across. And I think what I'm going to do is do one at a time and then blow dry in between so that I can make sure that I'm getting a good coverage on everything. So I'm going to then take my paste. I'm just going to stick with the white today just to keep it simple. But I encourage you to try some different colors, see what kind of things you have available to you if you would like to do a little bit of color change-ups in there. But I think today I'm a fan of just the simple black and white, and going to squeegee that across. And I'm just going to make sure I go in all different directions here to make sure that I press that into the edges of my template. And then I'm going to clean up as much as I can. You don't want to leave a lot of blobs and excess chalk paste on there. And then just wipe that off in the jar of your excess. And then we're just going to peel this right off. Oh, how fun. All right, so there's the Scatter Sunshine. I'm just going to drop this right into my water so that I don't have to worry about that. And then turn on my blow dryer. Okay, so that is just dry to the touch. And even if you get a little bit, I got a little bit of chalk here on the side, I can always get a little bit of touch of water and always wipe that off. So that's not really an issue. I really like this about this product. You can easily, if you make mistakes, it can be easily remedied and fixed. So I'm going to then turn to my next side. I think my next one I'm going to do is let's see if that's my top. I think I want to do the bird. So I'll do the bird next. But I really wanted to try and find a way to incorporate a lot of different of these templates on one product. So that's why I did a little bit of brainstorming and looked at some different options as to how I could do that. And I think this one won out just simplicity wise, and also just the fact that I already had some wood in the correct size that I stole from a palette. So you don't necessarily have to run out and buy everything that you need. Sometimes you can just kind of run across something that works perfectly and kind of inspires you to try something out. So that's where I'm at with this. Like I said, I ran into a palette and I saw it had some great large lumbered sleds underneath the palette, and I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect for my design. So I'm going to wipe that off, and again, peel away from the corner, nice and slow. All right, and then I'm going to just drop that in the water, and then blow dry that for a moment. gonna go to my next side here. I think we're gonna do the April showers. Okay. Lay that one down. And I usually like to try and center these as best as I can. That was another reason I chose the size that I did. These templates were about 3 3/4, so I wanted the wood to be only just slightly larger than the templates themselves, so that they were pretty spot on, and also so it was a little easier to lay them in there and kind of see where you're going with that. So we're gonna squeegee these across. And I like to always try to pull inwards towards my project so I don't get excess ink where I don't need it. I find sometimes I get a little overzealous and then I drag it across the entire project and then I end up getting chalk where I don't need to. And I'm always a hot mess when I'm crafting. So I try to, be as aware of it as I can, but sometimes you just can't help it. So then we'll pull off this April showers. Cute. All right, drop that in the bath as well. That's the April showers. And then my next side, I'm going to do the little showers. Just lay that on there, pull it off. Again, the fuzzing helps it not to stick totally to your project. You want it to have some stick to it, but not enough that it's going to actually warp the template when you go to then lift it off. So I'm going to take this here, put a little smear. And I love these little paint. These are actually paint mixers to like mix your own paint. I think I got them at AC Moore for a couple dollars for a whole big set. So I really liked that. All right, I'm just gonna turn it around. Like I said, I like to pull towards the center. And just press firmly. Now I'm gonna try and clean it up again. One last pass to get any of those last little bits. I also really like too the fact that you don't use a whole lot of product with this. The jars seem to last you quite a few projects if you take your time with them and really try to pull up what you can. So there's my, turn him around. There's my little cloud. As much as I don't love the rain, we kind of need it. All right, then on to my last one, which I don't know if you're ready. It's almost here for us here in Pennsylvania. We're pretty much moving on to spring here, but I'll give it any extra encouragement that I need to make that happen. So let's bring on spring. Again, I'm gonna press those down. Make sure it's, oh, I forgot to fuzz that. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's a smaller templates seem to be a little more forgiving with not fuzzing them, but it's usually a good habit to get into. All right, my last bit here. Okay, and I'm going to clean up any of those bits left. Oh, I got a little bit of white on the edge, but that's okay. We can clean that up very easily. So I'm going to pull that corner. See if I get some nails going on here. And here we go. Pull it back. There's our Bring on Spring. Like I said, even though I'm a hot mess and I always make a mess, You can always put a little drop of water on there. I'm gonna let that dry first. I found that letting your mistakes dry first and then correcting them is much easier. All right. Just want to touch them lightly with a little bit there, but that is the finished product then. And I will post up some pictures of some of the other designs with the cubes, but I really love the fact that you can kind of see everything. And like I said, if you make mistakes, they happen. It's totally okay. Like I said, I'm a fan of waiting for it to dry first, and then I will go back with a little damp cloth. You can use a Q-tip or a sponge or anything like that and just wipe off the chalk there. So that is also one of the benefits of working in chalk. It really is quite forgiving. But if this is something that you're like, you know what, I could see myself pulling this out each spring and wanting to do that, you could get a polyurethane spray and put a matte or a gloss finish depending on the style that you like. So if you want it to still look like chalk and have a chalkboard finish, get the matte. And then if you like it to have like a bit of a shine, a finish, you could do a gloss with it as well. So that is our finished product. I will post up all the materials necessary for this project so that you can try this at home.